Well, you can tell which I watched, judging by the thumbnail. But as I finish, or as I start recording this, was the end of the Tuesday Night War, pretty much, as NXT and AEW once again came head to head. First time, same night, since when AEW first started in late 2019 and NXT was put on TV on Wednesdays. But alas, it was interesting to see. Now I did chime in with clips and such. It was unique to see how each show responded. Because at the end of the day, for a wrestling fan, competition is only going to improve the product. And when AEW got moved to Tuesday night instead of Wednesday night due to MLB playoffs, NXT responded by getting John Cena, Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes, and The Undertaker to appear on NXT television to combat AEW. I mean, fuck. There's some nitwits, some idiots at the end of the day that all they care about is ratings and such. So, if at the end of the day, who cares? Bottom line is, we should all just be happy for the good wrestling television that is on TV, but alas, that is not the case for everyone. But alas, for AEW, it was a fun Title Tuesday as a whole overall. I mean, Hangman vs. Jay White, I enjoyed. The main event, Adam Copeland's debut match in AEW against Luchasaurus. I enjoyed that. It was fun. Bryan Danielson for Swerve. I enjoyed that. Saraya and Shida. To be honest, I was more interested in Saraya and Toni Storm than was, unfortunately, for Orange Cassidy versus Fenix. I say that because, look, Moxley versus Fenix, we knew it was going to be fun. And they announced during the show also Powerhouse, Hobbs, and Jericho. That was fun too. But I mean, so they announced Jon Moxley was not going to be medically cleared. Said he's improving, but he wasn't medically cleared to compete against Fenix. Said there was still going to be an international title match. I was like, okay, who? In walks Hook and Orange Cassidy. And Hook says, well, Orange Cassidy didn't get a rematch. So, yeah. AEW doesn't do WWE does rematches. And I get for the international title. It's just Orange Cassidy's reign. Yes, it was long. Yes, it was good. And yes, it was fruitful. But I'm sure many of us felt burned out by the open challenges, the lack of story. Yes, fun matches, but the fact is, get the match here and you can already tell where it's going. And Orange Cassidy is once again the international champion. But really, besides that, it was a good show. Adam Cole, MJF, Roderick Strong. Some fun back and forth. I mean, you had to love it. But, yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining me. First of all, if you're new to the channel and want to see more videos, please hit the subscribe. It'll help me out and help out the video greatly. And yes, please and thank you. Will help out the video and stuff. But nonetheless, AEW Dynamite was fun. Title Tuesday was enjoyable. So, let's get into the show, shall we? Also, give this video a like if you guys like Dynamite. And, yeah, go over as much as we can. So, Dynamite started off with the TNT champion, Mr. Christian Cage. He apparently was out for the monitors, the TV crew, the production truck, you name it. So he talked about the nature of Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland, saying he doesn't have a problem because he's so mad at Swerve for costing his team their coffin match at All In and Wembley. But as he talked about Bryan, he said a little birdie told him that Bryan says he's still the best wrestler in the world today. Well, according to his title, he begs to differ. And he said this was already announced. Because amongst they were going back and forth. So it was announced that NXT first half hour is going to be commercial free. AEW announced the first half hour is going to be commercial free. Larry's back and forth. They were going to have overruns, etc. I think AEW had a bigger overrun than NXT did. I mean, I was just looking at the clock thinking, oh, geez. So anyways, he announced that as the team faced the TNT, he announces that the first half hour will be commercial free. And he's saying, you're welcome. So why don't you assholes start the show? So when you hear one of the guys say, okay, going in 3, 2, then they must have button or something, and then, yeah, funny. So, like they said, they start off heavy. Bryan Danielson for Swerve Strickland. Speaking of Christian Cage, #1 contendership for the TNT Championship. Christian Cage. Fun and enjoyable. To be honest, this could have went either way, and in reality, yes, Swerve could definitely won after beating Hangman at Wrestle. I mean, yes, the momentum could have tallied for him to win this match, and definitely would have been good, but I can understand the finish. So, Bryan got a tough landing on the apron as Swerve hit a side slam, dropping Bryan. And I'm guessing he was feeling it. It was also very good selling by Bryan, but he was favoring his ribs for good majority of the match. Of course, they always say the apron is the hardest part of the ring. So, back in the ring, Swerve hit a nice power slam, suplex combination for 2. He went for a 450 splash, but Bryan got the knees up. Bryan fired back. He had a jumping knee off the apron. Back in the ring. He had a missile drop kick, but again, landing on the back, landing on those ribs. Difficult. He followed up with the yes kicks for 2. Went to the outside. Was Swerve, but so Bryan went for a suicida, but Swerve caught him with a forearm. So, and then I guess you could say both the spot of Swerve and Andrade. So, Bryan was in a tree of low position on the outside of the ring. And Swerve hit a swerve stomp to Bryan to the outside. Good looking spot there. Then back in the ring, he went for a swerve stomp, but Bryan then countered and caught Swerve into a half crab, and then went for a knee bar, but luckily for Swerve, he got to the ropes. So then, following up, Looked like Swerve was going for a superplex, but Bryan countered, hit a top rope back suplex of his own. Bryan caught Swerve, walked into the bell lock, went for a high arm lock, but Swerve managed to get it to the ropes. Then Bryan was coming hot with the offense with his run drop kicks in the corner, but again, the ribs, momentum as he was going back and forth. He caught the turnbuckle and collapsed, feeling the pain. And then out of nowhere, you see the house call, last call, sidekick to Bryan's head. And Swerve hits a swerve stomp off the top rope, but only for a near fall. I thought that was it. So, then, back over the corner, Bryan was caught into a floor suplex by Swerve, but again for a 2. So, the way Swerve kind of beat Hangman at WrestleStream, he helped use the crown of Prince Nana. So Prince Nana got onto the apron, distracting the ref, and tossed his crown to Swerve behind the referee's back, and then Swerve was getting set to level Bryan with the crown, but out from behind, Hangman Page from out of the crowd. The crown from Swerve distracted him long enough. Bryan back and forth, hits a Busaiku knee on Swerve. 1, 2, 3. And Bryan with the assist from Hangman Page gets the win over Swerve and will face Christian Cage on Saturday for the TNT Championship. First of all, it's going to be a great match. Bryan versus Christian Cage. That's a given. Second of all, yes, I am a little disappointed that Swerve lost, after his big win over Hangman. And, it's like, but at the same time, if he won here, it'd be weird because Christian's a heel, arguably the best heel in AEW. And they have Swerve, who's slated to be heel, so that dynamic would have been odd. So I get it. But thing is, though, with this and what happened at the end of Hangman Jay White and the main event, my guess is they're going to do a second match. They're going to do a rematch between Hangman and Swerve, probably at Full Gear, with a stipulation, and Swerve makes it 2 in a row over Hangman, and then there's the thing, of course, obviously, what you do after 2 victories over Hangman, you only go up. Still, you don't want to go to the side, so a second match, I'll mind it. Now, Bryan versus Christian, this puts an interesting dynamic because of Adam Copeland. What does he do? Because, Bryan has been adamant he does not want to be a champion in AEW. He just wants to have great matches. He's basically at his Shawn Michaels last few years run, where he was in WWE. So, and the thing is, Christian, you don't want to see him lose the title right now. So, but imagine Adam Copeland's going to have some involvement, and also with what happened in the main event with Luchasaurus, that's an interesting dynamic. But, yeah, so, shoot. My phone died. So, next up, after a great opening match, we go to Samoa Joe, the current Ring of Honor TV champion who claims he'll be the next AEW World Champion. Says on Saturday he'll make his first step in his march towards being the new AEW World Champion. So, there you go. Yeah, curious to see what... as we get closer to 2024, it's going to be an interesting dynamic because, look, MJF, I think in our opinion, Adam Cole has to be the one to take the title off MJF. Then again, I wouldn't mind if Jay White won it at Full Gear. I wouldn't mind if Samoa Joe won it in due time. So, yeah, we'll see come Collision. Probably will have a mission statement or something. We had Chris Jericho versus Powerhouse Hobbs. For a number of weeks, we have wanted Hobbs to... want them to really do something with Hobbs. Part of Team Taz, part of QTV. So, yeah. Yeah. Now he's part of the Don Callis family. And what a way to start off. Last week, it was the attack by Hobbs on Jericho and Omega, and which led to that brutal chair shot, which I do not want to think about on Omega, but this match, though, this was some moment for Powerhouse Hobbs, as he went right through Chris Jericho. This was barely any competitive match. I mean, Jericho had one offense flurry, and that was it. This was, geez. I mean, Hobbs hit a spine buster off the bat, and I thought that was it. But, so, Hobbs, was toying with Jericho. He had a couple spine busters, taking his time. So, Jericho made his comeback, some shoulder tackles, going after Hobbs. He managed to hit a code breaker for a near fall. Then locked in the walls of Jericho, but Hobbs got out. And from there, he had not one but two front slams on Jericho, which would make Mark Henry really proud. Looked like well-strung slams. And that was it. I mean, you want to make a name for Hobbs being one of the greatest of all time. Like that. Just great for Hobbs. Great moment. And great moment for the Don Callis family. And another great, funny vignette for Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and the Kingdom. So, last week, Cole said he put off his surgery to go be with Roddy. And this more further speculates that this is a work about Cole's ankle. I mean, as if, picking up furniture when he's on the scooter, that's not enough. So, Cole said, so he was with Roddy in the Kingdom. Roddy was still in the wheelchair, his gown, and the neck brace. Anyways, so they were in Roddy's yard and said, I need you to cut the grass for me. And I said, well, how? I got the scooter, why can't they do it? And I said, Roddy asked, please. So, you saw Cole with the scooter and lawnmower, which I really hope nobody does do this. But yeah, it seemed like a big yard. And Cole mowed the lawn. And then while he's mowing, they were like, Adam, you missed the spot. And then Cole said, Roddy, I'll get it on my way back. So they did, and so Cole said he was done, and said he has to get going, and then he has to change. And so Roddy said, whoa, I got something for you. So the Kingdom were wearing neck strong t-shirts, and then they got one for Cole as well. So, I mean, and the funny thing is, this draft toy, I mean, they had it again. Matt Taven Forgot the name, but hilarious. Talking about the animals are the giraffes have the strongest necks among the animals. Teaching how giraffes fight. It was funny. So, anyway, Cole asks why there's no cell service and no TV there. Said he wants to check on what Max is doing. Hint here. Bryan said TV is the devil. Hint. Because, more than likely, they were the ones wearing the masks when they attacked Jay White 2 weeks ago. Keep in mind. So Cole said he was about to leave. He really needs to get surgery. I'll check up on him as soon as possible. Bryan said, Adam, wait, I need you to do one more thing for me. I swear, Roderick Strong may be doing his best and funniest work of his career. The Kingdom, they're great, and I'm loving this. It's hilarious. So the segment, Tony Schiavone announced that Moxley was not yet medically cleared, so said they will still have a international championship match. And walks Hook and Orange Cassidy. Tony Khan gives it to Orange Cassidy, and there you go. So then we get the match. Which, like I said, sorry, but I didn't really pay too much attention to this. In the end, Orange Cassidy won. I'm guessing they used the confetti that they were going to use for Jon Moxley winning the international title back. But instead they used it for Orange Cassidy. So, there you go. Toni Storm, first of her many, her in this gimmick is crazy. Her channeling this Marilyn Monroe-like character, just hilarious. So, So, of course, since with the 15 minutes overrun. With the overrun and the 30 minutes commercial free, they had quite a few commercial breaks in the middle and the end. So how did they film? They filled them with these Toni Storm-like vignettes. These hilarious black and white vignettes. There was 3 of them. I mean, just great and hilarious at the same time. Tony Storm really works this gimmick. Wardlow. He returned last week in a pummeling of Griff Garrison. Here he basically pummeled Matt Sydal. Numerous power bombs. Referee stoppage again. And Wardlow left through the crowd again. It's going to be unique because, look, we love Wardlow. It's going to be a challenge, certainly, to try to get his momentum back that he got last year. So, I mean, I like that shrug emoji because I want Wardlow to do better, but the fact is, I mean, AEW didn't book Lance Archer right. They look like they're trying to book Hobbs right with the Don Callis family. Miro, TBD, I mean, he hasn't been back on TV in a couple weeks, although they just brought his wife to TV not too long ago. And, you know, we've seen that AEW has a difficulty in booking big men. So we'll see. But, you know, 2 wins again. Here's the thing. I mean, so I don't want Wardlow to have a back and forth title. And he's already been a 3-time TNT champion. He's not going to win the world title soon. I mean, Jay White, Adam Cole, Samoa Joe, just among the 3 that are ahead of him in the pecking order. But international title, I mean, if he were to beat Jon Moxley when Moxley comes back, that would be something. That would be something. But yeah, it seems like, for all intents and purposes, he may be gone to WWE. Hangman Page versus Matt Sydal. Or Hangman Page, Jay White, excuse me. Got my nose right in front of me. This was good as we expect. Jay White, he was out there with the AEW World title. Yeah, crazy. So, he was out there with the guns. The guns had these like scooter thing, cheesy but hilarious. So we're out there. Hangman was out there. So Jay White had the title, showing in Hangman's face, saying he's never gonna beat him for it. Yada yada. It was silly but cool at the same time. So fun match getting into it. So Jay White slapped Hangman a couple times. Hangman had a dive over the top. Getting into the match here, Hangman hit a fallaway slam followed by a running shooting star. On to the outside, Hangman went for another dive. Jay White countered. It looked like he tweaked his leg a bit. Seems okay. But Hangman caught a pop-up powerbomb on the apron. Back from break, Jay White hit a shin breaker on the apron, really targeting the knee. Hangman hit a fallaway slam off the top, or a moonsault slam basically off the top rope. Look, always looks good. Uranagi followed up by White. Hangman hit his Saraya moonsault to the outside, back and forward. Hangman hit a lariat for a double down. Prince Nana was out there to repay Hangman for what happened earlier. So he tried to hit Hangman with his crown, but Hangman caught him, and then all of a sudden, from behind, Jay White rolls up Hangman to steal the win. 1, 2, 3, and Jay White wins over Hangman Page. And Hangman chased off Prince Nana to the back. Now we hear MJF's music, so we can tell crap was about to go down. So MJF said, well, you already have your shot on November the 18th. You got your match. So, okay. He asked him to give him the Triple B back. So, Jay White, not calling it the Burberry scarf or big Burberry belt, but the Bang Bang belt, perhaps. So, funny. So, MJF ran down, talking about how he's earned the respect of the fans now, and said he's done trying to do it the normal way, and said that if it wasn't for the World Cup Gold members, the Gun Club, and Juice, that would break his legs, break his neck, come down there and take it back from himself. Said that he doesn't really care, Jay White doesn't really care about the Guns or Juice Robinson. And they just laughed off. Jay White talked about how MJF says this is the thing that means most to him. Yet he just asked politely for him to get back. And the crowd was chanting at Jay White, shut the fuck up. So Jay White was about to say yes, but before all the fans decided to be so rude. So he said no. So they offered up a challenge saying, well, you'll get your chance on the 18th, so be a little patient. But offered up another challenge saying, while Adam Cole is hurt and attacking me from behind, if you can find 3 guys that can stand you, that can want to team with you, go 4-on-4 first bulk up row, then maybe you'll get the trophy back. So Juice talked about, so next week apparently is, usually it's been December, but I can see why with building up the world title match of Full Gear. So next week is apparently the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal to determine who will face MJF for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. So Juice offered up to win it, give him beating, and got him a present. So in turn, there was a roll of quarters. And we know how MJF talked about the stories about him getting bullied as a kid, getting quarters thrown at him. And Juice said that when the time comes, he's going to take these roll quarters, and then MJF got really heavy here saying that if you come at me with those roll quarters, I'm going to quote, end your life. So there you go. And MJF stormed off. Damn. I mean, look, Jay White looks great with the AEW World Championship. It works for him. And it could happen, but I don't think it's going to happen where he beats MJF at Full Gear. But we'll see. I mean, if I'm a betting man, it seems like it's going to be Juice winning that Battle Royal next week. I mean, it's strange because MJF has won the Dynamite Diamond Ring 4 years in a row. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, Ricky Starks won Battle Royal last year. We'll see. Tony Storm, third vignette in commercial break. I mean, yeah, these are great. Funny. So we had Saraya versus Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship. I don't think anybody was surprised the fact that look, this was the right outcome. I mean, look, Saraya, great for what she's done, but the reality is she can't work a full-time schedule, really, it seems, anymore. And as a champion, that's not what AEW needs out of her schedule. And yeah, Shida won here and is a 3-time women's champion. Right element. Now, this may be also a case of AEW, because we know Tony Khan loves to book for moments, but nonetheless, you know, this needed to happen. Great for Shida. You know, it sucks. She should have won at Wembley. That's the thing. She should have won at Wembley. But because it was in England, because London, because of story, great moments for Saraya, you know, returning back in the ring. So they gave the title to Saraya that night. But, I mean, as a champion, she's been pedestrian on TV. And, you know, that's not what AEW needs. So MJF, by the way, we got 2 things of confetti. I mean, I think we may have too many things of confetti for... It's just my thing. I mean, the more you do something, the less it becomes, you know, eye-dropping special. So, nonetheless, that's my thing. MJF, he was backstage. He called out Cole. Cole talked about the issues with Roddy and trying to get his surgery. So, excuse me. Excuse me. So, in the end, the phone call broke up, and again, rift between the friendship. Because MJF said the only things, you know, he loves are around Cole and that AEW World title. There you go. So, of course, because World Club Gold challenged MJF to an 8-man tag team match. So, in came Max Caster and the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. Belly Gun. So, Max Caster was basically offering up their services to team with them for the challenge. And MJF basically shrugged it off and walked off. So there you go. And I will not repeat what was said really after that. Next up, Christian Cage was out there with Luchasaurus ahead of the main event. So Christian Cage explained, well, Adam Copeland, trying to get answers out of him on Collision, but that was not the case. Saying on Dynamite, Copeland said it was time to tag with them again. Finish their careers the right way. So, Christian said it wouldn't be the first time, try to reap off his success. And and he was like, where was Adam then a couple years ago when he returned and didn't bother to finish their careers that way? And said that, talked about Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne and what Adam said about them. Said that he's not their teacher, he's not their mentor, he's their father, which got a big pop from the crowd. So he said that Adam's wife Beth is a big fan of his. And said that talked about his little girls, Lyric and Ruby, saying that, well, told Beth to put my sheets on the bed, saying that, relax, their new father will be coming home. Oh, Christian Cage, great heel. He's definitely, arguably, the best heel in the business right now. Not sure what you can say. So, Adam Copeland's music hit. So we're not calling him Edge. But he ran out there. And so Nick Wayne grabbed his ankle and Luchasaurus gave a clubby blow to the back of Adam's head and bit of beatdown before the bell. Ref was asking Adam if he wanted to start the match and took a while, but he did. I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of tired himself out a little bit after that run. I mean, he is 49. I will say that. I get tired after a good run as well. The only spot I did not like about this match. So, Bell sounded, the match started. Luchasaurus hit another lariat. And Luchasaurus hit a tombstone pile driver on Adam Copeland. I mean, it's bad enough that AEW does too many pile drivers. But I mean, on Adam, now he probably okayed this, but I mean, the fact is, look, biggest fan of Edge in WWE. I cried when he had retired due to a neck issue. I was glad that he returned. His neck issues and injury, you don't want to relive it, so the last person to give a pile driver to is him. The only thing I did not like about this match after that, so Luchasaurus on the offense, you can tell Adam got tired. I mean, 49 years old. I mean, he hadn't wrestled in a number of weeks. I mean, just when they're in different lights, we'll see. So, there are still steps up for a good spot later in the match. So, Adam hit Tornado DT off the apron to the outside and Luchasaurus. Looked good. Crossbody to the back of Luchasaurus, taking him down. Luchasaurus went for a chokeslam, but as Chris Gates watching from the stage, countering to the Impaler DT for a near fall. So, Adam was going to the top, but caught a big boot by Luchasaurus. Adam followed up. He hit a superplex, good spot of his own. Two big guys there. So, near the end, so Adam was going for the spear. Christian was trying to be distracting as Nick Wayne wedged a chair in between the top and metal turnbuckle. So when Luchasaurus moved out of the way, Edge got a mouthful of steel chair, followed a chokeslam by Luchasaurus, but only for 2. So, finally a double boot to each other for a double down. They were on the outside, and I was worried because, the steps. So, Luchasaurus was knocked off the steps. Good spot here. So, Adam ran the apron, jumped off. So the steel steps were positioned on their side. Adam leaped off the steps, hit a spear to Luchasaurus on the outside. That was a good spot. So, Christian tried to interfere again. Nick Wayne had the referee distracted. Adam took the belt or TNT title from Christian. Hit Luchasaurus in the back of the head. Threw it to Christian. Luchasaurus didn't know that it was Adam. And Luchasaurus frustrated. Then from behind, we see Edge, Adam Copeland hit a spear to Luchasaurus. 1, 2, 3. Adam Copeland wins his debut match in AEW. Afterwards, there was a brawl ensued. Everybody, the Gates of Agony, the BCC, Hangman, Mogul Embassy. It was a brawl, but the ending where Bryan, who's going to face Christian on Saturday, had him in the bell lock, and Edge was Adam Copeland was from behind. That was great sequence. So, good title Tuesday. It was a good title Tuesday. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. But I certainly did. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed it as well. See you guys Sunday though with AEW Collision review. But Title Tuesday was fun. Hope you Tuesday in War was fun nonetheless. So leave a like, subscribe. Thank you guys. See you guys next time. Peace.